Harry and Meghan are leaving the palace to become financially independent. And you see, this is what happens when you bring the first black woman into the royal family.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, she looked at Harry and she's like, "Nigga, you need to get a job. You a grown-ass man. You can't still be living in your mama's house, Harry." Funny is that no matter what job Prince Harry gets, you realize he's still gonna be Prince Harry, right? Can you imagine being his boss when he screws up? Like, what do you call him in and say? "Prince Harry, get in here, your majesty. You blew the Henderson account, my lord. Clean out your desk and may God save the queen." Damn, Harry and Meghan are losing their titles? That's the most embarrassing royal loss since William's hairline.
Trevor Noah didn't warm up the room slowly. He jumped straight into the deep end. The moment he aimed a joke at Meghan Markle, you could feel the atmosphere inside the room change almost instantly. The laughter that followed wasn't the comfortable kind people give when a comedian plays it safe. It sounded sharper, a little uneasy even, the type of laugh that escapes when someone finally voices what many people have quietly been thinking for a long time. For years, Meghan controlled how her story reached the public, carefully planned interviews, perfect photos, and statements designed to shape the narrative. But in only a few minutes on stage, Noah turned that polished storyline on its head. These weren't random jokes tossed into the crowd. Each punchline landed with intention.
I do have to admit this, right? I always find it weird when people introduce a new baby. Because if you think about it, there's such a big contrast between the end product and how it was made. The result of our sweaty night of just raw dogging, #blessed. Queen has announced that Harry and Meghan can no longer describe themselves as royal. And I won't lie, if I was Harry and Meghan, I'll be like, fine, then we'll be known as royal.
Little by little, the glossy image people were used to seeing started to show cracks. You could almost feel the room studying those cracks as they formed. The audience wasn't just laughing. They were watching the image slowly lose its shine with every new line. At that point, it felt less like a comedy set and more like someone asking uncomfortable questions. Noah's timing was tight, his delivery confident, and he moved straight toward a subject that most big stage comedians avoid. He opened with race, but twisted the angle using his own experience, joking about the way media coverage around Meghan seemed to highlight that topic only when it worked best for the storyline.
I think they'll move to LA because Meghan is an actor, right? And then Harry can just join the cast of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yeah. Just be like fighting on TV. "I know what you said about me, Diddy. Say it to my face."
Kosher salt brings me back to my days in LA. I'm an LA native. I am a Los Angelite.
They're taking a sabbatical? From what? Helping their grandma pick out hats? Get the f out of here, man. How are you gonna take a break from being royalty? What are you doing? This is like the weirdest thing. Oh, just have to take a break. Too many people surf at guys. That's too much.
Now the crowd was fully hooked. This wasn't surface-level comedy anymore. The jokes were landing deeper. Then Noah shifted toward the royal fairy tale image. Suddenly, the story sounded very different. Harry looked like a prince still trying to figure out his place, while Meghan appeared as the determined networker who knew exactly how to move through the palace spotlight. Noah painted ridiculous scenes. Harry chasing voiceover gigs while Meghan worked Hollywood rooms like someone who had done it for years. The audience erupted again and again, but underneath those laughs, there was a clear sting, because the couple's carefully built brand was slowly turning into the punchline itself. Then came the biggest moment of the bit. Noah imagined Prince Harry trying to survive an ordinary job. No royal ceremonies, no palace balconies, just a regular workplace like everyone else.
Corden is a 12-time Emmy winner and the host of The Late Late Show. He's also living proof that a man can move from London to LA and not tell everyone about his frostbitten penis.
He joked about Harry struggling through normal tasks, while coworkers still treated him like royalty. Then Noah pictured a boss trying to fire him, only to panic halfway through and blurt out, "Your Majesty," before finishing the conversation. The visual was awkward, ridiculous, and hilarious at the same time. The room exploded with laughter. And with every joke, that carefully polished image cracked just a little more. Just like that, the whole story sounded different. The narrative about two brave outsiders breaking away from a powerful system suddenly didn't feel so convincing anymore. Noah flipped the angle completely and showed another possibility. Instead of rebels escaping pressure, the couple looked more like celebrities fighting to stay in the spotlight, chasing attention in ways they once seemed too proud to chase. Every punchline stripped away another shiny layer. With each joke, the audience started looking at the situation from a new perspective. Maybe this wasn't the magical love story people were sold for years. Maybe it was something closer to a calculated hustle wrapped in royal branding. In under 3 minutes, Noah managed to do something polished interviews, glossy documentaries, and carefully written press releases never fully controlled. He turned Meghan's carefully built global image into one long comedy bit. Even the studio band couldn't keep straight faces between musical cues, which showed just how hard those jokes landed with the crowd.
Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Oh, seemed like a nice lady. Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? Hit the fucking light skin lottery and still going on complaining. Trying to be a victim.
The shift in the room was obvious. This wasn't just a quick roast aimed at a celebrity anymore. It felt like her public image was being reshaped live in front of everyone watching. And the moment didn't stay inside that studio for long. It lit a spark across the comedy world. Within days, comedians everywhere sensed an opportunity and jumped in fast. Late-night hosts, podcast comedians, and sketch writers all started crafting their own angles.
You know, I mean, she used to be on
Was
Deal or
he
No
infiltrated?
Deal. Look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the wife convinces you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
One joke led to another, then another, until suddenly Harry and Meghan were stuck in a non-stop wave of punchlines. Some comics went full absurd mode, inventing ridiculous situations and exaggerated storylines. Others turned Harry into the confused royal in sketches. While Meghan showed up as the determined spotlight chaser in recurring jokes, the audience instantly understood. A few podcast hosts even mixed personal stories into the comedy bits, and those clips traveled across the internet incredibly fast.
If you are a watcher of the royal family and you like secrets, you might want to sit down because this is a doozy. Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
And then they complain about everything. They were complaining they had to pay for their own security. They were not happy about that. Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack them.
By the end of that week, Meghan's name had shifted from dramatic headlines to regular punchlines, and that is a very different type of attention. These jokes weren't one-time gags anymore. They became recurring bits repeated across monologues, sketches, and viral clips. In the comedy world, when a public figure becomes a running joke, the laughter usually sticks around for a long time.
Going on, Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers? What the fuck is she talking about? She didn't know.
If she didn't marry him, she would be on The Bachelor this season. Fighting for Prince. She would be Megan M. from Sherman Oaks barista. She just got lucky. She got so lucky.
If American comedians approached the topic with playful satire, British comics arrived with a noticeably sharper edge. Many of them grew up surrounded by the culture of the monarchy, so they understood exactly which pressure points would trigger the biggest reaction from the audience. One comedian delivered a brutally simple line about Harry and Meghan that made the entire room gasp before the laughter even started.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. Now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
That tiny pause said everything. The crowd didn't sound very sympathetic anymore, and the joke landed harder than anyone expected. Nikki Glaser took a completely different creative route and imagined an alternate reality so detailed it almost felt believable.
Totally moving to LA. They haven't said it. They say North America, but
We know what that means.
That's LA. She wants to be famous. She found the guy to make her the most famous in the world. And now she's over there and she's like, oh, this isn't what I thought
What's
it
the
was.
point of being famous in a castle every day? You're doing
Yes.
nothing.
She doesn't have resting royal face. She's a great diversity hire. She'll work a ton in LA.
Yeah.
She should get out here.
Yeah.
In her version, Meghan wasn't surrounded by royal headlines or global fame. Instead, she was running between mid-level Hollywood sets, chasing background roles and trying to stay visible in a crowded industry. Glaser pushed the picture even further, joking about reality shows and desperate media appearances just to stay in the spotlight. The audience reacted instantly because the scenario was outrageous, yet strangely believable. Then Simon Brodkin stepped in with his signature style, bold, direct, and impossible to ignore.
Ginger Royal meets fit American actress. She then discovers that everything is so unfair.
Famous for teasing powerful figures right in front of them, he mocked the couple's glossy streaming documentary and brushed it aside like a giant vanity project. One punchline after another chipped away at the polished image the pair had carefully presented to the world. But some of the hardest hits didn't come from stand-up stages at all. The comedy wave spilled into animated satire, and those shows pushed the jokes even further. In one cartoon version, Meghan appeared laser-focused on fame and public attention.
I'm going to succeed in America. I need a lifestyle brand of creams and supplements. Gwyneth Paltrow has Goop, Kourtney Kardashian has Poosh, and Jamie Lee Curtis has Poogert. Now I've got mine, Meg Goo, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
While Harry looked like a royal drifting through life without a clear direction.
Hey, it's the husband formerly known as Prince. Any luck getting a job?
Oh, they had me driving for Uber Eats, but there were too many damn rules. Don't touch the food, don't taste the food, drive on the road.
I'm sorry, Rowdy Weddy.
Their exit from royal life wasn't framed as a bold escape anymore. Instead, the sketches treated it like a risky career gamble that didn't exactly go according to plan. And unlike a late-night monologue that fades after one broadcast, these animated clips stuck around online. People replayed them, clipped them, and shared them everywhere. Over time, those exaggerated cartoon versions of the couple started blending into everyday pop culture talk. Then the legendary puppet satire show Spitting Image stepped in, and the drama cranked up fast. Meghan's puppet appeared glamorous and confident, often shown planning the next big publicity moment with a sly smile. Harry's puppet looked completely different, confused, awkward, and lost without someone guiding him. The bold portrayal shocked some viewers, but the audience reaction was massive because the satire didn't hold back. The sketches poked fun at everything, from streaming deals to Meghan's polished lifestyle branding. One segment even turned her wellness image into a ridiculous smoothie parody, with other puppets reacting with exaggerated disgust on camera. Another sketch framed the couple's business projects like flashy late-night infomercial pitches, joking that every new venture felt like another shiny money-making plan.
I get it. In the 80s, I dated a very famous woman whose identity I will never reveal and only ever refer to her using our secret nickname, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
Wow. Y'all look good, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all look good.
These jokes weren't random throwaways either. The satire leaned into the contrast many viewers noticed, the difference between public conversations about hardship and the very comfortable life the couple still seemed to be living. What made Spitting Image especially powerful was how long the jokes lived. A monologue might get laughs for one evening and then vanish, but these puppet sketches stayed online, gathering millions of views and spreading across social media again and again.
I assumed it was for the obvious reason. M is the 13th letter of the alphabet, and H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. 8 plus 13 is 21. 21 was Deion Sanders' number, and Deion Sanders' nickname was Neon Dion, obviously a reference to how they light up each other's lives.
Wow.
And that's where the real impact showed up. For many viewers, those exaggerated puppet versions started sticking in their minds even more than official interviews or polished press appearances. Once a strong caricature locks itself into pop culture, it becomes very hard to shake. Suddenly, the public image of Meghan and Harry wasn't shaped only by headlines anymore. Satire was shaping it too, and people kept replaying it. But British comedy still had another twist coming. The tone shifted again when Jimmy Carr stepped into the spotlight.
Prince William or Prince Harry?
Prince William or Prince Harry? Well, the royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashians. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he fucked up.
Famous for fearless one-liners, Carr walked onto the stage with the calm confidence of someone who already knew he was about to spark a reaction. His setup was fast and precise. No long build-up, no gentle transition, just a straight path to the punchline. When the line landed, the room erupted. For a brief second, the audience seemed stunned, and then laughter burst out everywhere. It instantly became the kind of joke that divides people. Some called it classic boundary-pushing comedy, while others argued it went too far. One thing was certain though, the conversation exploded. Clips from the moment raced across social media within hours. Commentators debated it, radio hosts analyzed every detail, and articles popped up everywhere discussing the joke and the reaction it triggered. What started as a single shocking punchline quickly turned into a massive cultural talking point. Ironically, the outrage only made the moment grow bigger. The louder people argued about whether the joke crossed the line, the more attention it pulled in. In the world of comedy and satire, controversy can act like rocket fuel. One bold punchline suddenly blasts far beyond the stage where it first landed. By the time stand-up comedians wrapped their routines, the internet had already jumped into the action. TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter quickly turned into non-stop roast arenas. Clips of Meghan and Harry were sliced up, remixed, and replayed in endless parody loops.
Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be. They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people wanna know.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
What began as late-night comedy bits suddenly morphed into fast, punchy skits spreading everywhere online. Millions of users started sharing them, each creator adding their own twist to the growing avalanche of jokes. One moment in particular blew up across the internet. In a Netflix scene, Meghan corrected Mindy Kaling on how her name was introduced. On its own, it might have passed by as a small, forgettable exchange. But online creators spotted it instantly. They slowed the clip down, zoomed in, replayed it over and over, and layered it with captions and reactions. Before long, it turned into meme gold that people kept posting again and again. After that, the parodies became even more over the top. Fake cooking segments started popping up online, poking fun at Meghan's polished lifestyle image. Creators joked about spotless kitchens, perfectly staged meals, and advice that looked so fancy it almost felt like satire already. Soon, music edits joined the wave too. Some users remixed interview clips into auto-tuned dance tracks with dramatic titles like Royal Reality Check, turning serious moments into chaotic internet entertainment. The biggest shift was who was making the jokes now. These weren't television comedians with networks and producers watching every word. These were anonymous creators with zero reputation to protect and no media gatekeepers slowing them down. Every new public appearance by the Sussexes instantly became fresh material for another meme, another parody, another viral edit. And the internet can be far more relentless than any comedy stage. At this point, Meghan wasn't simply the subject of a few jokes anymore. She had become a full meme template. Her reactions, facial expressions, and interview clips kept getting reused, turning her into the unexpected face of an evolving internet joke format. Beneath the laughs and viral edits, a more serious conversation also started building. Some critics pointed to what they viewed as a contradiction in Meghan and Harry's public message.
Who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her. She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
On one side, they spoke about wanting privacy and distance from heavy public attention. On the other side, their post-royal careers included documentaries, interviews, podcasts, and major media deals that continued sharing parts of their story with the public. That contrast quickly became the center of heated online debates. Every time Meghan and Harry spoke about their struggles, critics pointed straight to the luxury homes, private flights, and celebrity circles surrounding them. And whenever the topic of privacy came up, people noticed something else happening soon after. Another interview, another documentary, another media project appearing in the spotlight. The more the narrative was explained or defended, the more the internet focused on that visible gap between the message and the lifestyle everyone could clearly see. Comedy thrives on contradictions, and once Trevor Noah and other comedians highlighted those contradictions, it was hard for people to ignore them. Suddenly, every public move by the couple looked like fresh material for the next punchline. In the social media era, moments don't just fade away quietly. They get clipped, captioned, memed, and replayed endlessly until they stick firmly in the public conversation. Trevor Noah may have lit the first spark, but what followed looked like a full cultural pile-on. Comedians, satirical shows, puppet sketches, and millions of online creators all jumped into the mix from different directions. Piece by piece, joke by joke, Meghan and Harry's carefully built public image was examined from every angle. The pair, who once stood as symbols of royal rebellion, slowly became regular targets in comedy circles. And that's the strange side of becoming a running punchline. Once it happens, every new photo, every interview, even the most sincere moment can quickly turn into the next viral joke. Comedy doesn't just laugh at the obvious surface. It shines a bright light on the cracks, and once people start noticing them, the laughter usually grows louder each time. But the story didn't end there. Not even close. Another huge comedy moment arrived soon after, and the reaction was just as explosive. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe for more stories like this. And drop a comment below sharing your opinion. Did comedians push things too far, or was it simply satire doing what satire always does? Your perspective might surprise someone reading the comments.